Dear Boomer, are you afraid of falling and breaking your hip? Now, that's something that is a common fear as we get older, and it's a common fear, but it can be remedied by conscious stepping one foot in front of the other, perhaps taking yoga classes to create flexibility in the joints, and to walk every day. Walk a mile, 2 miles, and increase it, because walking is probably one of the most important exercises we can do. A sedentary lifestyle is not at all recommended by anybody, and it's certainly the body doesn't like it. So I recommend becoming conscious of every step you take. And as an old mentor of mine suggested, that you put your consciousness in your feet, so that when you take every conscious step, you are putting your energy into the steps that you take, instead of having your mind wander and feeling kind of yucky or weak, or putting your energy into your feet promotes a sense of confidence and a sense of willingness to take the steps, literally and figuratively, take the steps that you need to take, not to fall or break a bone. Now, I have what is called osteoarthritis, and I did have to have a total hip replacement, but not because of falling. And society wants you to be terrified that when you do fall, or if you do fall, and if you do break a hip, that is basically a death sentence. I completely reject that. I think it's very irresponsible to tell people that a fall will end their life. And because of that, my mother, for instance, she did fall and break a hip. And then as a consequence of that, she went on to become very, very depressed, because she bought into the collective belief systems of our culture that said, no, you're going to go downhill, you're going to die. And she became progressively depressed until the last year of her life. She was so depressed, and that was before antidepressants, even though she would never have taken them. She just basically languished in her bathrobe for about a year. Before then, she had a stroke. She was so sedentary too. I wonder if she had walked every day, whether she could have prevented that dire consequence of depression. But when you do walk, it helps with that feeling of being down. All of a sudden, you take in deep breaths. We ideally should be taking conscious breathing exercises all throughout the day. But when you walk, it's a natural consequence of walking to be more focused in on your breathing. So she broke her hip, and she bought into the collective consciousness of a fear-based society, and she did fall prey to terrible depression as a consequence of buying into the belief system, becoming basically sedentary, and mulling around all the terrible things that happened to her in the past to bring her to that point in time. I must say, I was not intelligent enough, really, emotionally intelligent enough to help her with that. I tried very hard. I was going through nursing school. I had finished nursing school, and I came home to help her. She was not reachable. So are you afraid of falling and breaking your hip? Believe me, you don't have to go into a downward spiral of depression if you do. These things happen to people our age, but I do believe a yoga class and walking and having conscious friends around you who bring you up instead of bringing you down with these ideas of dire consequences of such and such happened to you. Don't do it. Don't buy into it. Surround yourself with people who love you, who want the best for you, and who will embolden you to be the best you can be, and don't buy into this stuff. Don't buy into it. Have a deep conscious connection with your creator, the creator that you have developed throughout your lifetime, and go with it. Go with the flow. And it's not a failure, whether you fall. I have fallen recently and I cracked a rib, but I was really on a mindset of getting myself better and doing the things I needed to do to live a conscious life. And I am beginning to take my own advice here about concentrating on my feet. The feet are our center of will. Thinking, feeling, and willing, as Rudolf Steiner said, the great German philosopher. So namaste, peace on earth, love to all. Bye-bye.